Make sure your insurance doesn't come up short. Get gap cover with ALA. For more information, follow the links in the description. Hello everybody. When it comes to motorsport, I think there is a fair case to make for Formula One being the best there is. It's certainly the most desirable. And to get to any race isn't particularly cheap. In fact, if you want to come to Silverstone on a Friday, it's £99 just to get in the door. To get into hospitality, that's really expensive, and there's plenty of that with various different places. The Racing Green, the Ignition Club, the Legends Club, the BRDC, as well as various other different things offered by various different places. But there is some stuff here money simply cannot buy. And today, I feel like Charlie Bucket, for I have the golden ticket. When it comes to F1, it does not get better than this. And I have you to thank for it. So, good people of the internet, join me today for a very brief roller coaster through the wild and wacky world of Formula One. Enjoy. What exactly is it that I have here? Well, what I've got, as you can probably see, is a collection of different lanyards. This is Sunday, race day, and it all started on Wednesday of this week. Lunchtime that day, I had no idea I'd be coming to the Formula One. In fact, I haven't been to the Formula One since 1999. I got the chance to go twice back in the 90s, the heydays of the mighty V10s. The first time was in 1995. Johnny Herbert won. A great victory and a great day for Britain. Then in 1999, a race arguably remembered not for who won, but who did not, because Michael Schumacher very early on in the race came off. And I remember that moment very distinctly because I, unlike most Brits, was actually a bit of a Schumacher fan, even at 10 years old. And when he went off the track, the crowd cheered. Then, when we saw on the big screen just how he'd come off the track, they weren't so joyous anymore. That was a bad accident and ruined his chances of the championship that year, which eventually went to one Mika Häkkinen, who I bumped into yesterday. The winner of that race was David Coulthard, who I bumped into this morning and got to sign my cap. Yes, a rare time you'll actually see me wearing one of my caps, and probably the last time I will, because this is now, like the others, a memento. So how did I get here? Well, I got an email, and it was from the FIA, saying, "James, would you like to join us?" And I said yes, and now we've got to go. That's because we've been summoned to the pits. Apologies about that, everybody, but as you can probably tell, it's a rather manic weekend, and I've been gifted some very, very exclusive access. See, I got this email through purporting to be from the FIA, the people who sanction Formula One, the governing body, the people that run over 600 races a year. They've got 245 member organisations. They are behind the World Endurance Championship, the World Rally Championship. If it's motorsport, they're probably involved. And when I got the email, well, to be honest with you, I thought it was spam. I nearly deleted it. Glad I didn't, because not only did they get me into the race, they got me into their hospitality, and they've got me here. And in about an hour, I'll be on the grid of the British Grand Prix. And I could only get here thanks to the support of all of you who've shared these videos over the last 10 years I've been doing this, and evidently caught the attention of somebody, somewhere, clearly well connected, that likes what I do, and wanted to say thank you in their own special way. And so too, my mystery benefactor, cheers. It's been a good day. Let me show you some of it. This is carnage. There are people everywhere, all wanting to get a glimpse of their favourite driver and team. Now, while I'm talking about them, they're actually out there. The president of the FIA, Mohammed Ben Sulayem, has actually led the drivers out in a very unusual drivers parade. It appears to be a novelty go-kart race, and a few corners in, some of them decided they wanted to see how the go-karts fare in the gravel trap, and they all got themselves stuck, much to the delight of the crowd. As you can tell, the team's over there prepping, some exercising, some I think just praying, some I think very hopeful, some not, but the atmosphere here is unlike basically anything I've ever seen. The sun has finally come out. It's basically the rule of the British Grand Prix. You get roasted or you get soaked. For once, we appear to have a bit of a happy medium here, which is nice. Here's the thing though, there are a lot of different passes in the paddock for an F1 weekend. So many, I could do a whole video on it. If you want to see that, please let me know. The fanciest one you can buy is arguably the F1 Paddock Club, a luxury experience for those who want an elevated Grand Prix weekend, complete with fine dining, pit walk access, and those are the people you might have seen being driven around the circuit on a big bus. That is £6,000 each for the Silverstone Grand Prix. What I had was far simpler, but I think so much more special. An FIA pass simply cannot be bought. That gets you into their motorhome, which really isn't fancy at all compared to others. It doesn't even get you lunch, because they close it for their staff. But it does mean you'll be in the place that hosts some of the most important people on the grid. Best of all, they invited me here with no pretenses, no requests, no requirements. But they did say I could film, which in of itself is not easy at F1. And I figured, as I was here, I'd want to share it with all of you. Truthfully though, the experience changed my perception of the race. Not only was traffic management infinitely better than it was 30 years ago, one reason I've often cited for not wanting to return, we got in almost straight away at 8 AM on race day. I was also really impressed at just how much there was for everybody. The British GP also currently features a sprint race too on the Saturday, so if you want to do your weekend on a budget, getting here on Friday or Saturday still gets you racing or qualifying from multiple categories, and you can get seriously close to the drivers, all of whom park their cars just by the paddock. So if you've got inner track access, you'll almost certainly be able to see them at some point. Now, seeing the joy of the fans was brilliant, and though the cars today do sound a bit tragic, there was still some good racing. Even if we were all upset, the event finished under a safety car. Getting a good seat without paying for a grandstand can involve a bit of patience or good luck, but with the huge number of giant screens everywhere, there was always a good spot to watch the race, and honestly, I think the perfect F1 weekend combo might actually be going there in person on Friday and Saturday, then watching it on the TV with excellent coverage for Sunday. Best of all, though that Friday ticket is still expensive at 99 quid, under 11s get in for free, and with it being much quieter, that could be the perfect way to get them their first experience of top-tier motorsport. Believe it or not, this was also the first time my friend Ant had ever been to an F1 race, despite being a lifelong fan. And I fear I may have ruined him forever now, because we did have that golden ticket, the Grid Walk Pass. You don't automatically get that even with an FIA ticket. For motorsport fans, an F1 grid ticket might just be the best thing on planet Earth. You simply cannot buy it. You can only be gifted it. And so, for one day, we got to live the dream. What we didn't really expect was just how we were going to get onto the grid.
As you can see, a bit crazy, it's a bit noisy, but I'm on the grid at the British Grand Prix. And somehow the universe conspired to get me here following the president of the FIA and Christian Horner, who's reappeared in the paddock, and a few other very important people. Not a bad way to celebrate a 10th anniversary. And if you'll excuse me, I've got to stop now because I've got a lump in my throat. Thanks.